Hi guys, it's reading time. So you're going to need your reading hardback and you're going to need your reading workbook. So go ahead and get those things out. And while you're doing that, I'm going to read you a story from our read alouds, and it's called Storytelling Trees. Cedar trees grow in the Alaskan forest. A Tlingit Indian walks among them searching for the right one. He finds a strong, straight tree that has been growing long before his grandfather's grandfather lived there. He marks its rough bark. This is the first step in making a magnificent storytelling tree, and we call them totem trees, totem poles. Okay, so there's like a picture of a totem pole. You may have seen them if you went to Bethany Beach. They have one as you turn to go into their boardwalk area. Okay, so you may have seen them there. So storytelling trees are totem poles. Long ago, before writing was used by Indians, totem poles were carved to tell stories or to record events happening in the tribe. Shapes of bears, wolves, whales, eagles, and other wild creatures were carved into soft tree trunks. The tree was read from top to bottom by a storyteller. Stories often included animals with superhuman powers and stories about the eagle and raven clans. These totem poles were read again and again, like a library of wooden stories. Have you seen a picture of totem poles or visited the state of Alaska or Washington where poles stand? Even today, totem pole carvings continues in Kitchita, Alaska, where Tlingit Indians still live. Once, a stone adze, which is like an axe tool that they used, brought down an 80-foot giant. Today, chainsaws do the work in less time. Thick bark is stripped away, then knots, once burned with hot rocks, are sanded smooth. At last, the tree is ready for the master carver chosen by the tribe. Poles that once took a year to carve can be completed in 3 months. A carver chants to help his concentration and to keep a cutting rhythm. It is a chant he learned from his father, who learned it from his father. Wood chips pepper the air. Animals with beaver tails, whales, wolves, and birds with oversized beaks are chiseled into the soft wood. Some carvings have human shapes. Long ago, artists mixed salmon eggs with minerals like hematite, graphite, and copper to make bright colored paints for the poles. At last, the weary carver puts down his tools. He is ready for a crane to lift the new pole. He thinks back and remembers stories of his grandfather's first pole raising. That one took place at the river's edge. No crane was used then, just dozens of men holding tightly to ropes. Their groans rippled like a chorus of bears. Sweat beaded on their backs. Drums and voices swelled like thunder when the pole rose. The old carver blinks away the memories as a ray of sun touches his sensitive eyes. The steel-armed crane is placing his new pole upright facing the road. Arriving visitors look up in awe. Cheers and laughter roll forth like water from a bubbling pot. What was once a mighty cedar growing tall in the Alaskan forest is now a magnificent totem pole. Think about stories told by your parents and grandparents. If you put those stories on a totem pole, what would your storytelling tree look like? Okay, there's that. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do our vocab words. Okay, I need to get a white piece of paper because you're not going to be able to see this. Where's my board? Oh, here. Let's use this. All right, so we're going to go over our words. Okay. Of course, you're not going to get a copy of this, but you have it right here. I'm not going to have you do sentences like we normally do. We're just going to go over these words together, okay? All right, so number 1, glancing. When you are glancing at something, you are taking a quick look at it. So when you're glancing at something, you take a quick look at it, okay? So I'm sure you've glanced at something before. So if I glance at you, I'm going to go like this and look away quick, okay? So you're just taking a very quick look. Number 2, scolding. If you are scolding someone, you are angrily pointing at that person's mistakes. So you point out their mistakes. So would a parent be correct for scolding a child for running in the street? What do you think? Yeah, probably, because that's a dangerous thing for a kid to do, right? So a scolding would be a good thing, okay? All right, so you want to point at them and tell them no more running in the street, right? All right, number 3, console. When you comfort or cheer someone, you console him or her. Okay, so sometimes you might need to console a friend who maybe lost a favorite toy, or maybe their fishy died. You want to console them. You want to make them feel better. Cheer them up. Number 4, heroic. Someone who is heroic is brave and acts like a hero. Okay, so maybe like firefighters and policemen, they all are heroic. Number 5, drowsy. When you are drowsy, you feel so sleepy that you can't stay awake. So drowsy. So when you feel drowsy, you just want to take a nap. I'm sure you've felt drowsy at times. I know I have. Number 6, burden. A burden is a heavy load that is difficult to carry. Sometimes your backpacks were a burden, right? When they're really heavy, you have to take a hard back home sometimes. That was a burden. The trash can be a burden sometimes. It's really heavy. All right, I want you to open up your reading hardbacks to page 50 and 51. Okay, 50 and 51. And we're going to read this little story out of our book. Okay? All right, so it's called The Miwok People. You could have learned a lot about the Miwok people of a long ago by glancing around their villages. Some people might be making deer hides into clothing. Others might be grinding acorns to make flour. One Miwok mother might be scolding her child about wasting food. Another might console a child who was afraid of a coyote's howl. At night, you might see people gathered around a fire listening to a storyteller. The story of fire. One of the storyteller's tales describes how the Miwok got fire. Like many such stories, it features Coyote as a heroic character. In the story, only Turtle has fire. He hides it underneath him, and the fire doesn't harm him. One day, Coyote visits Turtle. He waits until Turtle is drowsy and pushes him off the fire. Coyote carries the precious burden of fire back to the Miwok villagers. Okay, so that's one of their stories that they used to tell about how fire became, okay, and how they got fire. All right, so that's that. Now, let's open up our workbooks to page 144. Page 144. Okay. All right, and as you see on page 144, in part A, you have the complete each sentence with one of the vocabulary words in the box. So you have your box there. Okay, you have your words in there: scolding, glancing, console, heroic, drowsy, and burden. All right, so if you forget what they mean, you're going to have to rewind it. Oh, well, here, I could do this. How about I do this? I'll show these as I read. How's that? So some of you might need to remember what they mean. All right, so number 1. 2 heavy piles of clothes are a blank to carry. 2 heavy piles of clothes are a blank to carry. A burden, very good. Number 2, a sleepy child looks drowsy, good job. Number 3, a person with courage can be heroic, yeah. Number 4, one reason for hugging people is to blank them when they are feeling bad. So if you give someone a hug, you are consoling them, right? So one reason for hugging people is to console them when they are feeling bad. Number 5, when someone looks quickly around a room, he or she is glancing. Excellent. If I talk sternly to a child, I am probably blank him or her. Scolding. Excellent. Okay, good job, guys. All right, now in the bottom in part B, I do want you to do these. So write an answer to each question. Number 7, Why would you be glancing around in a restaurant? So I want a complete sentence. So you would write, I would be glancing around a restaurant because, and then figure it out. Number 8, why might you feel drowsy? I might feel drowsy because, all right, now pause me and finish those 2, and then we'll come back right to them, okay? So pause me, stop the video, and then finish those numbers 7 and 8. All right, so number 7, let's go over number 7. Why would you be glancing around a restaurant? I could be glancing around a restaurant to look for my food, okay? Or I could be glancing around a restaurant because I was looking for the restroom. I might be glancing around a restaurant because I'm looking for my friend at another table. Okay, so there's lots of reasons to glance around a restaurant. Number 8, why might you feel drowsy? I might feel drowsy because I didn't get enough sleep last night. Or I might feel drowsy because I just ran 5 miles. All right, I might be feeling drowsy because I don't feel well. Okay, so lots of different reasons to feel tired or drowsy. Okay, all right, so that's that. And we are done with reading. All right, so you have one more video today, and that's English. So I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.